bucket and test the chlorine levels of water from the regular hose, and then we're going to add chlorine into the water and then run it through the carbon filter to see how much chlorine remains. And we're just going to have different base levels of chlorine. So these are the test strips we're using. They test for hardness, chlorine, free chlorine, pH, alkalinity, and stabilizer in the water. We're mainly going to look at the total chlorine and the free chlorine levels of the water. All right, so we did our first base test for the chlorine and free chlorine, and the levels match up closest to the ideal levels of total chlorine and free chlorine. And so we're going to add chlorine to the water and test it, and then run it through our filter and test it again.
Okay, so here's a model of our filter. It's 1.5 inch ABS PVC pipe. And then down here we have a permeable mesh bag, which 50 grams of this granulated activated carbon will go inside of. And we've simply just attached the bag to the bottom of the ABS pipe with this hose clamp. And now I'm just going to pour the carbon.
So this is the chlorine solution that we're adding to the water. We have a liter of water, and we're going to be adding from 1/8 of a cup all the way to 1/2 a cup of chlorine, and going to take the different levels before and after we put it through the carbon filter. And now it's between high and very high in chlorine value. And our water through the filter, it changed from a high level of chlorine, the very dark purple, to the mid-level ideal version. Before the chlorine was added, it was the grayish white in between.
What we just did was double the flow rate for the same concentration of chlorinated water to see if the results we get are any different than the first trial. So this was what we did with the slower flow rate, and then when you compare the chlorine values here, they're ideal to low in this case now after running a lot slower flow rate through the filter.
The chemistry side of our chlorine filter is performing a redox reaction because the activated carbon is acting as a reducing agent to transfer electrons from the activated carbon to the disinfectant. The chlorine is reduced to a non-oxidative chlorine ion, so now you can disinfect your dirty water on those hot sunny days.